everybody. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQCW and of course NoDQ.com. Thanks as always for watching. A very busy week in WWE continues and I'm trying to get through more of these questions here in my inbox. Hence the third episode of NoDQ&A video this week, and perhaps there'll be more, so stay tuned for the very latest. But for now, let's get to your questions. Hey Aaron, since WWE has one general manager now, do you think it would be time to finally unite the world titles, especially after the way the world title was treated at Mania? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I figured that WWE would not merge the titles unless they were planning to end the brand extension. But, I mean, the world title has been degraded so badly now. I mean, it's even under, I would think that it's under the Intercontinental title and the US title at this point. I mean, it's been really bad. I mean, they were doing so well with Bryan, and then they did that quick match and made the world title seem meaningless again. So, I mean, you could have it where the titles are merged, and then you could have, if you want to keep the brand extension, you could have the world champion on both shows, and you could have Raw guys challenge the world champion, you could have SmackDown guys challenge the world champion. I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much at this point. I mean, the brand extension means nothing. I mean, they have the Raw Super Show. They have Raw guys on SmackDown. So, I mean, the world title has just been weakened so badly now. They might as well just merge the titles. But I don't know what WWE wants to do in that regard. They might want to keep two separate champions since they do Raw branded house shows and they do SmackDown branded house shows. And they want to have a world champion for each show. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But at this point, I'm fine with whatever they do, and I think maybe it's a good idea to just merge the titles, but we'll see. Do you think that there would be a change in the design of the WWE Championship belt anytime soon? If they're going to do a different design, do you think they should use a new one or bring back an old belt like the Attitude Belt if The Rock wins? Well, this kind of ties into the previous question. I mean, if you do end up merging the WWE title and the world title, that would be a perfect opportunity to introduce a new championship belt design. Now, the reason they haven't made the change, as I think I've mentioned before, it's been on NoDQ, and it's pretty common knowledge. The spinner belt sells a lot of merchandise. I mean, kids love the belt design, and it just makes WWE a ton of money, and that's why they haven't changed it. But, I mean, they've been using that same design now for 7-8 years, since 2005. So perhaps it's time to make a change, and like I said, perfect opportunity. If you're going to merge the belts, you can create a new belt design. And hopefully they would. Hopefully they don't merge the titles and then just keep the spinner belt. That would be ridiculous. And maybe when The Rock wins, they'll do something. But I thought when CM Punk had done his big angle with the title and the two champions, I thought that would have been a good opportunity to change the design, and they didn't do it. So, yeah, that was a missed opportunity, but maybe in the next year or so we'll finally get a new design. I think it's long overdue. Hey Aaron, do you think WWE should do more with Daniel Bryan? As shown at WrestleMania 28 Raw, he is clearly over despite being a heel. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Daniel Bryan is that he was building up so much momentum the last several months, and I thought his act as a heel was great, and he took the ball and he ran with it hard. And then, of course, WWE goes and does that 18-second match at WrestleMania 28. That was a terrible way to start the show. And I like the idea of sometimes doing a match that ends really quickly because it's something unexpected. And it gives it. When you watch future matches, you think you never know what's going to happen. You never know if it's going to go 10 seconds or something. I mean, when every match goes 5 to 10 minutes, you know, it kind of gets boring a little bit. But when you have a match end really quickly, then it shakes things up. I look back to SummerSlam 2005 when Chris Benoit beat Orlando Jordan. I thought that was great. I mean, the thing is, Orlando Jordan wasn't all that over, so it wasn't a big deal to have him beat in 15, 20 seconds, however short it was. But with Daniel Bryan, the thing was, he is the world champion, not the U.S. champion, first of all, and second, he's really over with a good portion of the audience. So just didn't make much sense to me to do that. And I was really looking forward to that match, too, at WrestleMania. I thought if those guys were able to go out there at WrestleMania and have a great match, it would have done a lot for both guys. I feel bad for not just Daniel Bryan, but Sheamus, too, because they pushed him as the Royal Rumble winner. And I think he could have benefited from having a really great WrestleMania match, and they took it away from both guys. So just very disappointing in that regard. Hey, it seems that Daniel Bryan, even though he's a heel, was getting cheered and Sheamus was booed. How can this affect their characters going forward? Well, I could definitely see Bryan going back as a face. I mean, he's technically been a heel the last several months, but I mean, a lot of people still cheer him, and especially this week on Raw. And as far as Sheamus goes, I think it's just a 1 week thing. I think fans booed him more because of the fact that he was the guy that beat Daniel Bryan, and they see Sheamus as the guy that WWE is shoving down their throats. You know, the hardcore fans feel that the WWE is forcing Sheamus on them over their guy, Daniel Bryan. But like I said, I feel bad for Sheamus too that he's put into this position. He should have gotten a better deal in terms of being pushed for the world title and having a great match and being able to earn the respect from the fans as being world champion. So I suspect Sheamus will be fine. He'll continue to get cheered, and I think Bryan. I mean, we'll talk about this more in a minute. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's get to the next question here, actually. Yo, Aaron, what was the possible main event for What will be the possible main event for SummerSlam in your view? There's a lot of different directions WWE could go for SummerSlam. First of all, I mean, I definitely see Brock Lesnar being a part of it. Like I said in a previous video, he's got about 30 to 40 dates for WWE, and he's going to be around. He's going to be doing some matches before WrestleMania, and it could be John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. They could end up doing that sooner. I'm not really sure at this point, but if it was me, I would hold off Cena and Lesnar for SummerSlam. I would put Lesnar in there with somebody else before SummerSlam if they're going to do that. But realistically, if it was me, I would save Lesnar for the big pay-per-views. SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble, and then WrestleMania. And then maybe have him make a few TV appearances here and there. But yeah, I mean, we could also see The Rock if he's available. I mean, that's a big question right now because The Rock's got other movie projects, so he might not even be available for SummerSlam at this point. But we should see at least one really big match, I think, this year, probably involving Brock Lesnar. Is it good that WWE seems to be doing better, but do you think that WWE is doing better just because some of the old stars are returning? Yeah, definitely when you bring back guys like The Rock and Brock Lesnar, that's going to attract some of the older fans, and that's going to draw interest in WWE. Like I said in a previous video, fans tuning in the Raw this week are going to think WWE is this hot commodity. But realistically, it's just a quick fix. I mean, The Rock and Brock Lesnar are only going to bring so much interest, and at least in The Rock's case, like Hogan 10 years ago, a lot of The Rock at this point is a nostalgia act. And it could be the same way with Brock Lesnar, where you can bring him in and do a few big matches, but beyond that, he's not going to be able to make any kind of long-term impact. And I don't even think he wants to either. I think Brock doesn't want, he doesn't want that heavy schedule. He just wants to come in and do a few matches and make a ton of money, and that's probably what's going to happen with Brock. Yeah, WWE really needs to push to the future, and that was a big problem with WrestleMania 2, I thought. I mean, there was really only one guy that I thought came out of WrestleMania looking like a really big deal, and that was CM Punk. But beyond that, I mean, that GM match, it did nothing for the people involved. And a lot of those guys in that match are guys that are being groomed as future stars in WWE. So, yeah, WWE really needs to work on building towards the future, because that's the long term, and that's what they got to do if they want to have long-term success over the years to come. Hey Aaron, why aren't more WWE crowds like the one in Miami tonight? Is it just because this crowd was made up of hardcore smart fans that usually don't want to pay to go to Raw? The reason why that crowd was the way they were is because for WrestleMania, you have the most hardcore fans coming from all over the place, all over the United States, over the world. They come to Miami for WrestleMania, and a lot of them will stay the next night and go to Raw. So that crowd is going to be the most hardcore of hardcore fans in that small 15,000 seat arena, and that's why that they were really into everything, and they're behind their guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and Boo and Cena, and yeah, I mean that's just why, because you have your most hardcore fans, and usually on Raw it's just in a random city, and you have a lot of families coming, and they're casual fans, and they're not really familiar with the insides of wrestling like these hardcore. Obviously, all these people knew Brock was rumored to be coming back, obviously because of all the chants. So they're the type of fans that go on the internet, go to NoDQ.com, and they read online about all the wrestling news. So, yeah, I mean, it would be great to have that kind of crowd every week, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. What did you get excited for more? WrestleMania itself or the fallout after it over the following few weeks? Well, usually I get really excited about WrestleMania when they build up the show well. And this year they did a great job, so I was really excited about WrestleMania. And hopefully the idea is that you want to be excited about what happens after WrestleMania as well. And that's WWE's goal, is to keep people interested, because they have a lot of people tuning in for WrestleMania and they want to be able to maintain that audience. So in a perfect world, you would want to have the weeks following WrestleMania just as exciting, if not more exciting. And perhaps this year they've accomplished it. I mean, at least so far, with Brock Lesnar coming in and The Rock teasing the WWE title run, it gives fans something to look forward to. So, so far so good, and I'm really looking forward to where things go in the next few weeks. Finally, The Brock has come back to WWE. If he has a feud with Cena, will they mention their WWE title match that they had back in 2003? I mean, they could, and that would make sense to play up the fact that they had the past match. But then again, WWE ignored the previous Undertaker versus Triple H match from 2001. So maybe they don't want to mention that these two guys actually had a feud back in 2003. Who knows? I mean, it all depends on what the storyline is. If there's a reason to mention the 2003 match, then I'm sure they will. But perhaps they feel that they're not going to want to do that, and there's really no need for it. So we'll see where things go. Hey, I love the show. Do you think that Daniel Bryan's match on Mania was one of the biggest misses by WWE? The yes chants on Raw made it feel like he's finally won over with the fans. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I think he's always. I mean, at least to the more hardcore fans, he's already won them over, and perhaps with the yes chants, this is going to bring him over the top and get him over with everybody now. That night in Miami could go down as one of the a turning point for Daniel Bryan, I think, because once if that catches on and everybody in every city starts doing it, it's going to make Daniel Bryan a really big deal, and there's going to be no way you can ignore him. So yeah, I suspect big things are coming for Daniel Bryan. But then again, we thought big things were coming for Zack Ryder, and WWE has just seemingly done everything they possibly could to make Ryder a joke. So I don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Bryan, but one would think, because Bryan is considered a much better wrestler in the ring than Zack Ryder, that's going to help him a lot. And now he's got the chance to go in the merchandise. So we'll see. Do you think that the fact that McIntyre was on the WrestleMania card, that his time of being buried is finally over and WWE may start doing something with him finally? I don't really think that that was a sign that they're going to start pushing him again. The bottom line is they needed a body to fill. I mean, Christian got hurt and they didn't want to use Alberto Del Rio. And as we all saw in that match, it didn't really matter who was in it. They just needed another body to make it 5-on-5, and McIntyre was the guy available, so they went with him. Perhaps he'll get a renewed push now that WrestleMania is over, but if they start bringing in FCW guys and they start pushing new talent, I hate to say it, but McIntyre could be in a lot of trouble here. Alright, that'll wrap things up for this edition of No DQ&A video. As I mentioned before, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all the support from you guys. And stay tuned to the very latest. Make sure you check out Mike Nagel's YouTube channel, youtube.com/FTWNage. That is his channel where future episodes of NTV will be posted. He's starting up his own video series. You saw the first episode right here on the YouTube No DQ&AV channel. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time.